On an election day, The Hindu, your most trusted newspaper, brings you accurate analysis, facts, and objective reporting. There is only one way to describe these elections: unprecedented. In Tamil Nadu, for the first time in 6 decades, there will be chief minister who is neither from DMK or AIDMK. In West Bengal, we have BJP in power for the first time ever in the history of the state. Congress has some good news in the form of emphatic victory in Kerala, but it has suffered setbacks in Assam, where despite 10 years of anti incumbency, it has not been able to make any significant dent on the BJP government. These trends, once again, are in line with BJP's victories in assembly polls after the 2024 setback. It will also mean political realignments at the center in India bloc. At 3:30 p.m. today, that we are recording as per the Election Commission numbers, here's where the results stand. Tamil Nadu TVK, a 2-year-old organization, political outfit, is ahead on 105 seats. DMK ahead on 60, AIADMK on 50. Congress is leading on 4, PMK 2, others 4. In West Bengal, BJP is leading on 195 seats, just 5 short of 200. TMC has fallen down to 92. And one has to remember, BJP was at 77 in the last elections. Congress is ahead on 2 and others on 4. In Kerala, UDF has a whooping 90, leads on 98 seats, and LDF on 35. And in Puducherry, we have I'm sorry, I don't have the numbers immediately in front of me on Puducherry. I'm sure Shikha can share those on the. Yeah, so here they are. ANRC is leading. Is leading on 1 and has won 8. BJP on 2, Independence on 3, DMK on 1, and Congress on 1. So here's where we stand as of now. I will go straight to D. Suresh Kumar from Chennai.
Hi.
Hi, Suresh. So, spectacular election.
Indeed, spectacular, quite unexpected, something that nobody predicted. So it's turned out to be a very tight three-way contest with a debutant TVK disrupting the bipolar electoral landscape that Tamil Nadu had witnessed for about 5 decades. Tamil Nadu has had the DMK or the AIDMK. But this time, for the first time, a political party that's just 2 years old, started by a film actor, Vijay, has captured the imagination of the people. But then the TVK is still short of the magic number of 118 in a house of 234. So they are, as of now, the election commission shows that it's about 103 seats. The TVK is leading. The DMK has now come second with 60 seats, and the ADMK 50 seats. But what's biggest surprise of this election is the TVK has completely disrupted the Chennai region, where the DMK traditionally held sway. So completely, several ministers are trailing. Chief Minister M.K. Stalin is trailing in his Kolattur constituency, a constituency that he had won from 2011 onwards. He is trailing by more than 7,000 votes as we speak. His son, Deputy Chief Minister Udayanidhi Stalin, and HRNC Minister Shekhar Babu are the only 2 ministers in the Chennai region who have established leads over the rivals. Otherwise, in Chennai region, it's a complete TVK juggernaut. So much so that in Mylapore constituency, the former Telangana governor and state BJP's ex-president Tamilisai Soundarajan has been pushed to third place and the TVK candidate is far ahead of her in Mylapore constituency. So that's the kind of disruption that the TVK has done. It's not confined to one region. They have penetrated in all urban centers, be it Madurai, Coimbatore, even deep down south, up to Killiyur and Kanyakumari, they have managed to penetrate and establish leads over the rivals.
Interesting. I will come to you, Suresh, again for specific questions. Right now, I think also if you can give me in just Puducherry results also, and then we can
Yeah,
carry on.
Puducherry, the NDA looks set for a comeback very comfortably. There, of course, the opposition did not put up a very strong defense because the contest, as you see in Puducherry, the Congress and the DMK, they could not really apportion seats to the other allies like the VCK and the left. So, in fact, the Congress ended up putting five rebel candidates against the official candidates of their own alliance. So, all this has led to clear disruption, and the sitting ANRC BJP government headed by Rangasamy looks comfortably placed, and they will form the next government. So that's the scene in Puducherry.
All right. Thank you. I will now go to Shiv because what has happened in West Bengal has no parallel. Shiv, this is for the first time that BJP has come to power. Of course, they have been working very hard for the last over a decade. What exactly changed for the BJP this time, and how do you read the results?
So the BJP is almost close to a two-thirds majority, 294 seats. It is like it has won two seats, 195. It is leading. So this is a result which many BJP leaders would not have expected. Even the BJP by its own standard, own predictions have said that we will win 177 seats and we will form government on our own. But this vote is basically a vote to remove the Trinamool Congress, because the BJP has not only held on to its bastions in North Bengal and Southwest Bengal, but have made significant inroads in, if we look at the map, in South Bengal, in Kolkata region. There are several districts in both in North Bengal and in South Bengal where the Trinamool is not even leading on a single seat. For a party which has been in power for 15 years, has such a strong, organizational strength on ground. If such kind of results appear, it is quite an indication that the electorate were not happy with the incumbent government, and they were looking for an opportunity to remove this party from power, and that has been the situation this time. Though the chief minister is winning from her Bhawanipur constituency, but several of her ministers are trailing in Kolkata and in adjoining areas. A lot of the factors did work. The most important thing was that the Trinamool put its entire campaign on the SIR, and the BJP was able to sell its promise of a developed Bengal, more employment, more jobs, and also, the scams which have happened in the past 5 years or maybe 15 years of the government, these Arjikar incident, all put together, and the electorate just wanted the Trinamool out of power, and the BJP provided them with a suitable opportunity, and we see this results.
Interesting what you're saying, Shiv, especially you underlining the fact that this is an election where the electorate sought to get rid of Trinamool Congress. It's less of a BJP victory and more of TMC's defeat. But of course, we will circle back to you for more in-depth analysis on SIR and also on the big point of Hindu polarization, which BJP leaders have been openly talking about in this election. But before we do that, let me go to Rahul Karmakar on Assam results. It is spectacular. For 10 years, BJP has been in power here. There is a lot of conversation about corruption. The very thing that is leveled against the BJP, the TMC in West Bengal, similar charges are leveled against the Assam government also. But how come it has managed to maintain such an emphatic lead against its immediate opponents, the Congress?
See, the BJP has won its third election on the trot. It's equal to what the Congress achieved from 2001 to up to 2016. So 3 election victories in a row is not unprecedented in Assam. And the BJP, things, there was a lot of corruptions, but then many of these were unfounded. For example, even the Pawan Khera's allegation, which turned out to be based on, as far as the cases go, based on certain forged documents. So there have been corruption cases, but then corruption case charges are not new in Assam or anywhere else in the northeast. But at the same time, the BJP has been focusing on development, and the development has been showing. In terms of roads, in terms of infrastructure, buildings. The huge semiconductor plant is coming up, which has given an indication that the state is looking big, eyeing at the bigger global international market, and stepping into the future of business. And these are some of the factors. In earlier times, there were a lot of development projects, but then these were not so visible. And the BJP was very focused on this issue and the issue of identity politics, saving the indigenous community from the onslaught of the so-called Mias, that is the Bengali speaking or the Bengal origin Muslims. But at the same time, when it came to development schemes, the Mias, the eligible Mias, they were the Muslims, they were not deprived of these schemes. And these schemes, whatever they had the Arunodaya scheme for the women, monthly stipend for the women. They have, and before the elections, they were giving some kind of benefits to the tea garden or the Adivasi tribes, Adivasi people who have been a major vote bank for the Congress before it shifted to the BJP around the 2014. So these are some of the factors. So they have been doing it, but then vocally they were very against the Muslims, but then on the ground there has been a lot of cooperation with them. So,
Okay.
so these are some of the factors, and the Congress, I believe they latched onto issues which are usually did not pan out to be very impactful issues. For example, the death of Zubin Garg. So the Congress, I believe, overdid that, but because there was a lot of anger among the masses in the way the case was being handled. But then it turned out that the ground, whatever is on the ground, is quite different from what happens on social media. The anger, or maybe on TV showrooms, the TV
Right.
newsroom.
Right.
So
Rahul,
these
thank
were
you
the
so
factors.
much.
Mhm.
If I were to
Mhm.
sum your remarks, you are saying that it was a mix of identity politics and welfare politics that
Yes.
has ensured that BJP wins for a
Mhm.
third time in a row. Now,
Mhm.
let me go to Nistula Hebbar, our political editor, for to understand what these results mean for us nationally. Uh, because
Well,
this,
yeah,
yeah,
please.
no, Nistula, you.
Well, nationally, it's a big win for the BJP because which has, despite its large footprint already, had always been suffering from basically being perceived as a North Indian Hindi-speaking party. So, winning a state like West Bengal, where there is a very strong regional subnationalism, and making true that statement of Mr. Amit Shah of, a BJP government in Ang, Bang, and Kaling, that is Assam, Bengal, and Odisha. And he'd always been pretty hung up ever since he was party president of kind of getting to, having political domination in the Coromandel states. He always referred to it in the old colonial phrase of Coromandel states of the east coast of India. All of that, of course, is an extremely important implication of this election. But also, it has shattered the myth that the BJP is extremely good when it comes up against the Congress, but falters a little, especially with regard to tone and tenor of its specifically regional narratives when it comes to regional parties. I think that they have managed to shatter, and it is very bad news for other regional parties who aim to come up against the BJP, or the BJD already found out in Odisha, and maybe the Samajwadi Party is looking at right now with the Uttar Pradesh elections coming up in 2027. The implications, other than that, yes, for the India bloc parties, it's going to be massive because these are people who had allied themselves and also handed over a defeat to the government for the first time in 12 years on the floor of Lok Sabha when the delimitation bill and a constitutional amendment with regard to women's reservation was defeated by a combined opposition vote, with Rahul Gandhi calling up Abhishek Banerjee and also lobbying with DMK to make sure that their MPs were in the house during that time. But right after that, first of all, not sharing any stage with Stalin, the one of the chief allies of the Congress and a big constituent of the India alliance during the Tamil Nadu elections, and then, of course, making that very, very sharp statement against Mamata Banerjee in the middle of the West Bengal elections. So much so that, as my colleague Shiv Sahai said in one of the discussions we had over the West Bengal election, that the BJP's Bengal unit's Twitter handle actually posted that, saying, "Thank you very much, Rahul Gandhi." I think that's the only time they may have thanked Rahul Gandhi so publicly and so openly. So it's an existential issue for the India bloc.
Yes.
One set of opposition to the BJP, not Congress, but this regional opposition to the BJP, that seems to be scattering a bit. If you look at what Vijay has done, it is India's first Gen Z poll. I feel there are Gen Z forces at play across our neighborhood. We haven't had revolution, but this is a revolutionary vote, I think, largely powered by youngsters and women. So I look at it as a Gen Z vote, and maybe there has to be a going back to the drawing board for oppositional forces of what they want to look like when they come up against the BJP the next time.
That is interesting, and it's a beautiful segue to go to Sandeep, because I want to discuss with Sandeep whether is this entirely bad news for the Congress when it comes to the India bloc dynamics, or do you see any positive? Is there a silver lining to this dark cloud?
Well, look, it's terrible optics. As Nistula pointed out, that just days after handing down a decisive defeat in Parliament on the floor of the House over the issue of delimitation, which was tied up with women's reservation and women's reservation, it's quite an expansion of Parliament. It's quite clear that it's very bad optics that when two of your prominent constituents, which is the DMK and the Trinamool Congress, both lost the elections and quite decisively. But having said that, the silver lining is that, remember that if Mamata Banerjee had won a fourth time around, Trinamool anyways is a fairly, fairly vocal member of the India bloc. They have, in the past, they have often refused to play the second fiddle or to be led by the Congress. They have often said that they are really they should be they should be equal partners, if not the leader of the bloc. So in some ways, numerically at least in the Lok Sabha, the Congress will have an edge. They have also managed to win at least one state, which is Kerala, return to power in Kerala. So that's the only silver lining for them. But there are very many issues that plague them. To sort of use a phrase that I was wanting to use on another network, that the Congress failed to read the tea leaves in Assam and smell the coffee in Tamil Nadu. And when I say smell the coffee in Tamil Nadu, there was a section, including the All India Congress Committee in charge, Mr. Girish Chodhankar, Manikam Tagore, most visibly, who wanted to actually align with TVK. But at that point of time, there were no takers. I think the Congress leadership were far too aligned with the DMK leadership to try that experiment. So overall, I think...
Also, it would have had impact on the center, on the parliamentary strategy. I guess that was also...
Yes, most certainly. I mean, they could... So that would have completely sort of put them at odds with the DMK. So which is why they stuck around. But I think from now on, they can certainly look at a new alliance partner. If you recall, in one of the election speeches, Vijay had said the real Congress is voting for me. And Rahul Gandhi had actually tweeted, or put out a post on X in favor of when his film Jananayagan was not being released. He had written a very hard-hitting post saying that it is BJP's way to suppress Tamils and Tamil culture. So I think that is another silver lining that they could look to work around. And also remember that I think, if I'm correct, I think Vijay had said that BJP is his ideological rival, and the DMK was its political rival.
Interesting. Sandeep, thank you so much. I shall circle back to you in a few minutes. But first, we have Anandan here, and we haven't discussed Kerala. I mean, one thing is there, Kerala results were largely on expected lines. Am I right, Anandan?
That's true, but then not to the scale at which it has happened, because everybody was expecting it to be a close race. And even the exit poll predictions, if you look at them, they were like, projecting seats between 80 to 85, 80 and 85, or maybe between 70 and 90 and all that. Nobody predicted the UDF to get more than 100 seats. But then they are at 103 right now, with the left reduced to just 34 seats, and the BJP now, looking to win 3, including Karakutam.
Oh, that is significant. And this will be the first time that the BJP has won 3 seats, right? So far, the
that's
tally
right.
has
Because
been
earlier, back in 2016, the BJP had won Nemam, where Rajiv Chandrasekhar is now winning. And apart from that, Chatanur in Kollam, where the BJP came second in 2021, they are winning that constituency as well. And now, V. Muralidharan, former union minister, has established a slender lead over Kadakampalli Surendran, former minister and CPM leader in Karakutam, which is also in Thiruvananthapuram.
So also, I believe a lot of LDF ministers are also losing in this election.
12 of them. 12 of them.
12 of them. That is a significant number and indicates
In fact, if you look at it, in the initial rounds, Pinarayi Vijayan himself was trailing in a party stronghold like Dharmadam. Last time, Pinarayi had won the constituency by a margin of 50,000 plus votes. And last time, it was 36,000 votes. And this time around, his lead is just about 12,000 votes, and he was trailing by some 3,000 plus votes in the initial rounds. So it is almost like a Pyrrhic kind of victory, because the left has suffered a major blow across the state, and particularly in the party strongholds in Kozhikode, Kasaragod, and Kannur. Especially in Kannur, wherever CPM rebels contested against party official candidates, the rebels have won. And that happened in Payyanur and Thaliparamba. These are two, real strongholds of the party. And in Uduma, in Kasaragod, and Trikkaripur, another party stronghold where Congress's Sandeep Warrior has posted a victory. Sandeep, if you recall, Sandeep had defected to the Congress from the BJP earlier. So he was a state committee member of the BJP, but then nobody predicted him to win that constituency. But then he has posted a win. And in Ambalapura, in Alappuzha district, which is another CPM stronghold or left stronghold, G. Sudhakaran, who quit as a CPM leader, he was twice he was minister in CPM left cabinets, and he was a state committee member of the party. But in 2021, he was asked not to contest, and he was also removed from organizational roles. Looking at his age, the age bar was applied in his case. But this time around, he chose to contest as a people's independent. He called himself a people's independent, and he was given support by the UDF. So his margin is now 25,000 plus. So which means the party cadres themselves have given a very strong message to the party leadership. So it is as if ordinary communists or communist cadres have voted against the party leaders.
Yeah, it's
So
it's
it made
it's
a
it's
few
a
of people
verdict
like that.
against Pinarai's leadership, and the verdict has been
Exactly,
delivered.
exactly. Because
Delivered.
MV Govindan's wife, I mean, who was fielded by the CPM, claiming that she has been a leader of the party and she has been a leader of IDWA, and well before she had got married to MV Govindan. So that was the premise on which she was fielded from Taliparamba, but then it was called out as a case of nepotism by several leaders. And TK Govindan Master, one of the district secretariat members, quit the party, and he fielded himself as an independent, and he was extended support by the UDF. So he is also winning by a margin of again 20,000 plus votes, which is quite decisive in a place like Taliparamba.
Yeah.
And
So,
again, the same thing in Payanur.
yeah.
Payanur, where Krishnan,
And then
who,
I'll have to interrupt you at here.
yeah,
Like
please, please.
like voting, we'll have a second round with you. I
Oh, okay.
will, yeah, for further details, because I have a specific question to ask, and I will come back to you. But
Yeah,
now I
sure.
want to go to Shrini, because in this election, one very crucial role was played by SIR. So, Shrini, I am very curious to know, did SIR swing the election anywhere, especially in West Bengal?
Yeah, so we had a look at the initial very, preliminary numbers, and wherever the SIR's deletions were more than 20%, there are those are the only seats in which the Trinamool Congress, led in more seats than the BJP. But there are very few seats, just 15 seats where the deletions were more than 20%. So technically, we need to parse the numbers a bit more closely. If you look at places, for example, where the deletions have been close to 10 to 20%, there the BJP is leading in 78 seats and TMC is leading in 47 seats. So the BJP is still leading in places where SAR deletions are, substantive. But its leads are even more in places where the deletions are fewer, that is 0 to 10%. There BJP is leading in 98 seats and TMC in 32 seats. So this is not clearly giving us any clear message. If the assumption is that the TMC would perform better in places where the deletions are more, right? Then we could. So rather, deletions are fewer.
Fewer, yeah.
And the BJP is benefiting because of higher deletions. That is not borne out by the data as yet. But again, these are very preliminary information. We need to parse the numbers a bit more closely. I don't want to commit on saying that SIR did not have an effect. We have to look at, seat by seat, look at the electorate, the previous election and the current election, and the vote share differences between the BJP and TMC everywhere. But as of now, we can say that perhaps in places where the SIR deletions have been high, the Trinamool has worked on this issue and got a bit more support. That we can say. That is what this data shows. To say if BJP has won by the electorate reducing, that we have to look at past data very closely to come up with that kind of analysis.
Right. Thank you, Shrini. I guess you have your work cut out, and the Hindu readers must look out for a detailed piece by Shrini explaining these questions in the next few days. But now I want to go back to Suresh, because I have this very big question. Suresh, you have to talk me through Vijay's campaign. The fact is that here's a man who attended some 15 rallies. He did not lay down his vision very clearly. He said DMK is his political opponent and BJP is his ideological opponent, and so on and so forth. It was the vaguest campaign I have seen in recent times, and yet he wins so emphatically. So take me through, what is it that swung the voters in his favor? Why is he winning?
Exactly, if I may say so, disproportionately rewarded. That's what the voters are given to Vijay, because unlike MK Stalin, unlike Edappadi Palnisamy and Seeman, who toured across Tamil Nadu, moving from one constituency to another, appealing to people to vote, Vijay did not do that. He did not travel to of Tamil Nadu. Constituencies where he went, he did not speak. He just undertook a road show. So it was quite unconventional. His campaigning was centered around this cult figure called Vijay, Tamil cinema's top actor, an actor who was earning 200 crore per movie, giving up his film career to contest elections. So it was built around this Vijay cult, and they adopted very unconventional methods. But one area where they did very well was on the social media, because previously the social media narrative was actually driven by the DMK, but the moment the TVK came into the picture, they disrupted the social media narrative completely, virtually decimating the DMK, and they were there everywhere. They appealed to not just Gen Z, in the sense that not just the first-time voters. The biggest appeal was to children who did not have a vote at all, right? In fact, Vijay, with this last campaign, he openly told the children that just like you would pester your parents to buy you a Kinder Joy or a chocolate, you please pester your mother, father, uncle, right, cousin to vote for Vijay Mama. Give Vijay Mama one chance. And you will not believe the kind of disruption this created, because there were people who have told me that I voted for Vijay because my son wanted me to do. There were people who were saying that my grandson is a Vijay fan, he asked me to vote. So this was the first time you saw families voting for Vijay, a disruption that was never seen before. So women, even those aged above 45, 50 years, they have voted. In Chennai, an urban area where you have a lot of apartments, you have the upper middle class, the IT crowd, they have all voted, most of them have voted for Vijay, and they took pride. And then also in this election, one thing we saw is that people were very vocal about it, that I voted for TVK, I voted for TVK. So Vijay, when he had a public meeting in Madurai last year, he declared that in all 234 seats, it's Vijay who is contesting. And I think that is how people saw, because he did not even have candidates to field in 234 constituencies. 106 of his candidates were members of other political parties or activists in their respective areas who just joined the TVK just before the seat distribution began. And he fielded 106 of them. And then nobody recognizes his candidates except for the front-ranking office bearers of his party. So people saw Vijay in every constituency. Their vote was for the whistle symbol. And that symbol was easy to take across to the people also. Because we had children blowing whistles. When the DMK or the ADMK guys would come campaigning, the children would blow whistles. So it just took away. And then the other factor that I saw is, usually in Tamil Nadu, I have seen that in the rural areas, people are very innocent. So what they do is, when two political parties give them money, let's say the DMK and the ADMK have given 100 rupees each. This I'm talking about some 20 years ago. The couple in the household will go there. The husband will vote for the two leaves. The wife would vote for the rising sun, or vice versa. So they'll say that we have taken money from both of them. So let's be fair. Let's give them our vote. This time, I was surprised to hear people tell me that the DMK gave us 2,000, the ADMK gave us 1,500, but we voted for the whistle. Why? They say they want change. Right?
Why?
But this change, I'm not able to decipher whether it is a change in the real sense, or is it this film star's attraction, right? This film star's attraction, because what Vijay has done is not what MGR did. MGR's case was different. He was out and out political animal, right? From his cinema days, he was in the DMK for 18 years. He was an MLA, he was a party treasurer before he went on his own and then won his first election. But what Vijay has done is NTR. He has emulated NT Ramarao of Andhra Pradesh, because 1982, NTR floated a party, 83 he captured power. Vijay floated a party just 2 years ago, adopted all unconventional methods for his party's outreach, and he is now, close to capturing power, although he's yet to reach that magic figure of 118, about 107 seats he's leading.
One last question I have, and Suresh, then I'll let you go. It's a very big day for you and you have much to write. But my question is, as you just said, that he is short of the magic number. One, is he himself trying to reach out to any party? That is one. Second, between, if offered the choice of Congress and AIDMK, who is he likely to pick between the two?
Well, whether he is reaching out, we will never know, because he is one politician who has never met the press till now. His political party was announced on X platform. For every public meeting, there's no invitation for the media. So we really don't know whether Vijay is reaching out to anybody. But I think if we fall short of, say, 10 or 15 seats, then the ideal thing would be to reach out to the allies of both the DMK and the AIDMK, right? Because the AIDMK brings a baggage with it, but these allies don't bring that. So it could be the Congress plus the PMK plus the DMDK from whatever numbers they get. So most likely that is how he will form the government, if at all he is agreeing to do that sort of a manipulation or getting the numbers right with the support of these people. And if that happens, then this is the first time Tamil Nadu will have a coalition government.
That is
The state never
interesting.
had a
Thank you.
coalition government. The state never had a coalition government.
Yeah, that is very, very
Even in
interesting.
2006, the TMK was short of the magic figure. They fell below 100, 96 seats. But Karunanidhi formed the government only with outside support of the Congress and PMK, right? So this concept of sharing power is not something that Tamil Nadu has tested earlier. So this will be the first time, if at all it happens, we will get to see in 2026.
I guess democracy wins at the end of the day. With a coalition
Yes,
government in
absolutely.
power, all the lobbies will be heard, and it's always the better bet than a majoritarian government. Anyhow, thank you so much, Suresh. I shall let you go so that you can write
Thank you.
for our readers. I now want to go to Shiv with a very, very specific question. Shiv, Mamta Banerjee is 72. She tirelessly campaigned in this election, including putting out posts at 1:30 a.m. She has not yet conceded defeat. In fact, she put out a Facebook post somewhere in the afternoon saying, "Stay vigilant. Victory is not far away. There are many rounds to go," so on and so forth. But where do you see TMC go from here, considering the next time around the election comes, she will be 77? And Abhishek Banerjee, the second rung, are they prepared enough to take the lead?
So, Trinamool is not a party which, to me, which will not concede defeat easily. They will come out with some kind of an excuse and blame the counting process, ECI, or the SIR for the defeat. But, as far as the future of Trinamool is concerned, Mamata Banerjee has been a force in opposition during the left regime, and she will continue to do so. The second line of leadership in the Trinamool and whatever after Mamta is left has not seen opposition politics. So, one probability would be that some of its MLAs may defect and join the ruling coalition. But I see Mamata Banerjee in the role of a leader of opposition, and she will continue to be the heart and the soul of the party as she has been for the past how many, since 1998 when the party was set up. So for the she will continue to remain in charge of her party. One chance is also that Trinamool has been in power for 15 years, and opposition politics in a BJP ruled state will be difficult. So we'll have to see from where it goes from here. But she will be, I think, for the next assembly, the next Lok Sabha elections will be in 2029. So she's going to be there.
All right.
Without her, there's nothing. Without her, nothing much is left of the party. They will either go to the Congress or
Yes. So one last question, Shiv, and I will let you go also to write for us. What is it that BJP did correct this time in this election? How did they correct? Because, sitting afar, we feel that the BJP will find it difficult to convince the voters of West Bengal that they are not just a Hindi heartland party. They are more and beyond. So what did they do?
That was probably the biggest challenge for the BJP, to make it, to shrug off this label of being non-Bengali so to say, party. But a number of leaders from the Trinamool Congress who have had decades of experience in electoral politics. Shubhendu Adhikari is just one of them. We have like ministers like Tapas Roy joining. So increasingly, it was becoming evident that this outsider tag for the BJP was not working out, and the BJP did a number of things right, and the Trinamool did a number of things wrong. One was, I was very personally, I was very disappointed with the election manifesto of the Trinamool Congress. You are in power for 15 years, and you build your entire campaign on the fact on SIR and say that vote for us or else the BJP will come to power. If you closely watch their election rallies and speeches, they are not even talking about jobs. And West Bengal, from there is a huge crisis of labor migration from the state, which BJP was successful to catch the imagination. The doles on which the Trinamool, support based dependent, they doubled it. So that was one area. And also, the early compared to the 2021 elections, which was held in 8 phases, the ECI decided to have it in 2 phases, and the BJP was able to peak at the right time. And again, their narrative of polarization did work. The Muslim electorate, I think, have split. A part of Muslims have voted for the Congress, ISF, and other parties. So all put together, the BJP ran a very successful campaign, and this mandate is again a very similar mandate like 2020, 2011, where the people wanted left out of power, and the Trinamool did not have that strong organization in the state. They did not have workers at every booth, but the people decided to vote for them, and has been the case for BJP. As we can see now, they are touching 200. This is not something that the BJP would have expected. So a number of things went right for the BJP. A number of things went wrong for the Trinamool. But Trinamool could not catch the imagination of the people. They could not cater to the aspirations of the people. Just sowing fear that the BJP will come to power if you do not vote for us did not work. The electorate saw through it.
Yeah, that is a fair assessment, Shiv. Thank you so much. And I am now going back to Anandan for the second round, and the most important question that every Malayali wants to know: who will be the chief minister of Kerala? Congress has so many aspirants. There's a huge queue.
Nobody seems to have any idea at the moment because the Congress leadership hasn't spoken yet. But yeah, as you said, there are many aspirants, and as soon as the polling got over, there were individual campaigns taken out by different leaders. Because earlier you used to have one tall figure like, K. Karunagaran or A.K. Antony or Uman Chandi. But this time around, after Ramesh Chennithala stepped down as opposition leader and V.D. Sathichan took over, you have a galaxy of leaders now. At the state level, if you look at it, you have V.D. Sathichan himself, who is the opposition leader and who steered the campaign for the party, and Ramesh Chennithala, who is the senior most among the state leaders. And you also have Shashi Tharoor waiting in the wings. And you have K.C. Venugopal, who is probably the favorite of the High Command. If you remember, soon after the list of candidates was announced by the party, it was said that most of them belong to the K.C. Venugopal camp. Because unlike in the past, when you used to have the I faction and the A faction, now you don't have any issue of factionalism in Congress. But at the same time, you have loyalists, people who are loyal to K.C. Venugopal, people who are loyal to Ramesh Chennithala. Say, for example, during the electioneering phase, when I had a conversation with Mr. Chennithala himself, he said one of his close associates, Joseph Varakin, was not given a seat. He was a little unhappy about it. So you have such loyalists there, and you have some leaders supporting V.D. Sathichan. You also have leaders supporting Shashi Tharoor and even K. Sudhakaran. Because K. Sudhakaran, although he is an MP, he wanted to contest, and the whole hullabaloo over that. and the High Command had to sort of tell them in no uncertain terms that MPs are not allowed to contest. So the picture is still not clear, but then I think considering the thumping majority they've got, I mean, without any further ado, I think they'll come up with a name. But primarily, it looks as if the contest is between Ramesh Chennithala and VD Satheesh. At
All
least,
right.
at least locally, that is the feeling that we get.
So what about KC? What about Shashi Tharoor?
Shashi Tharoor has previously explained that the chief minister will be selected by the MLAs, the elected representatives, in consultation or with the authorization of the High Command. So if that is going to happen, then I don't think Shashi Tharoor is there in contention, and he doesn't seem to be very keen. At least outwardly, he doesn't appear to be so. And KC Venugopal, I have not much idea about that. He has also made it very clear during the electioneering phase that he was not eyeing the CM post. But then, I mean, in the last 1 month after the polling got over, there was a documentary being made
Yes.
on KC Venugopal, and which was stopped by the AICC. AICC asked them to stop filming of the documentary. So I don't know whether he was individually campaigning for the post or, I mean, whether he is not interested. But then it appears that at least the local leadership or the local party leaders are talking about either Ramesh Chennithala or VD Satheesh.
All
That
right.
is how the conversation is going on in Kerala right now. And
Thank you.
now there is an increasing support in favor of VD Satheesh because he steered 2 campaigns successfully. He was able to steer the bipole campaigns, and except for one, the UDF won all the other bipoles. Then they won the local body elections 4 months ago, and now such a victory, more than 100 seats. So the projections have also come true, because the Congress party, when VD Satheesh said they'll win 100 seats, nobody believed him. They said I mean, everybody thought that it was an exaggeration, but then right now they are at 102. Yeah, so
Right.
he's also there in contention. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you so much, Anandan. And I look forward to your analysis of this election, reading that in tomorrow's newspaper. Thank you so much. And for the last word, I will go to Rahul. Um, Rahul,
Yeah.
I just want to understand one thing. Gaurav Gogoi, who has headed Assam unit of Congress and has faced multiple defeats under his leadership, how tenable is his position as the Congress chief, state chief?
Well, we have to wait and see what the Congress High Command decides. But then this is a fact that, the Gaurav Gogoi himself has lost the Jorhat seat, which was his stronghold, which was the stronghold of his father also at one point of. So the message that has gone across is that from the people is, I believe, is that you are the right person to represent us in the Lok Sabha, but maybe not the right person yet to represent us in the assembly. So I think there will be questions on his leadership. The Congress, I think, faltered on 2 counts. Its groundwork was pretty ordinary, so to say, and then the alliance that it forged, it was a lot of flip flops, and then it was too late. I think by the time they gelled as a force, I think they had very little time to campaign. These were the 2 major reasons. And then also the tagline of Congress to create a new war reform, that is the Greater Assam, that was very vague. It did not really appeal to the people, because what the party explained was that they were focusing on inclusive politics, and this is where the BJP cashed in, because by inclusive they projected the Congress as more of a Muslim-friendly party, and this has always been the BJP prank, because BJP has been capitalizing on this divisive policy, on the politics of polarization, and which is very apparent, because if you go through the seats, they have swept the tribal areas, which has a very significant number of votes, and the eastern part of Assam, which is the Ahom and the indigenous homeland, and also the Tea tribes. And the Congress has the success of the Congress has been limited to the western part mostly, where out of 19 candidates, I think 17 or 18 of them are Muslims, and the kind of from the kind of population that the BJP derives. So these are some of the factors. I think the Congress has particularly if he stays on, he has if Gaurav Gogoi stays on as the president of the party, they have a lot of hard work to do and outthink the BJP.
All right. Thank you so much, Rahul. That was a wonderful discussion with all of you. And the question is, these results are not just about today. It has larger implication. Monsoon session of Parliament, which we shall see in the next few months, I mean, in mid July. Will the delimitation bill be brought back? What will it mean? What will be the implication if it is brought back? And how will this election impact the parliamentary strategy in the upcoming monsoon session? These are the questions that we are leaving you with, and we shall come back with answers to these very questions. That's all we have today for you. But stay tuned to the Hindu YouTube channel and the Hindu Originals, because we have a lot more analysis coming up on the election results here at the Hindu. Thank you.